Okay, at the end of this vodcast, you're going to be able to know how to solve for x in an algebraic addition and subtraction problem. We want to start with focus on the equals. Now the equals is going to be our dividing line. This is what we're going to have to pay close attention to. If a number or the x crosses the equals, it's going to have to change value, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's start with a problem. 4 minus x equals 2. Now we want to get all of our numbers on one side and the x on the other side. So we want all our numbers to be on one side of the equals and the x to be on the other. Now the easiest way to do that in this problem is to bring that 2 over. We're going to bring the 2 over here on this side of the equals with the 4. And we're going to take the x and move it to the other side of the equals. Now like I said, this equals is our dividing line. So when it crosses the equals, it has to change value. If it is negative, we have a negative x here, or a minus x. It needs to drop that negative or minus sign and be just a positive x over here. Now the 2 is positive. There's no minus sign in front of it. And when it comes on this side of the equals, it needs to be a negative 2 or a minus 2. So they just need to change values. And here's what it's going to look like when we're finished. We switch that x and 2, and the 2 is now has a negative in front of it, and the x is now positive. Okay? Now all we have to do to solve for x is just do the math over here on the left side. 4 minus 2. And if we take 2 away from 4, that gives us 2. So 2 equals x. And we want to plug in that 2 in our original problem. This is our original problem. 4 minus x equals 2. We want to plug in that 2. And that gives us 4 minus 2 equals 2. And that's how we check it. Does 4 minus 2 equals 2? It certainly does. So that problem is correct. Alright, let's try an addition problem now. 4 plus x equals 6. Now we want to get the x on one side of the equals and the 4 on the other. We want to consolidate our numbers and get the x off by itself. So in this problem, I'm going to bring the 4 over. Now why am I going to do that? Well, because the x is positive over here, when it crosses that equals, it needs to be negative or have a minus sign. So that's easily going to be put right here. 6 minus 4 as we'll have in a minute. And then I won't have to do anything to x. It's going to be left alone. Just like this. We went from having this problem, bringing the 4 over, and this is what we come up with. All of our numbers are on one side of the equals and the x is left alone on the other. We do our math. 6 minus 4 is 2, so x equals 2. And then we want to go back to our original problem, plug in that 2 here for x, because we solved for x, and x equals 2. So 4 plus 2 equals 6 is what it tells me. Is that correct? Does 4 plus 2 equal 6? It certainly does. Now it's your turn. I've got some problems that I'm going to give you an opportunity to do, and you need to go ahead and get your pencil and paper ready, and let's get started on those. Alright, so here's your first problem. 5 plus x equals 10. Teachers, please pause the video now and let your students write down the problem and solve for x. Press play again once they have all finished. Alright, you're finished. Good. Let's go ahead and see if you got your problem right. We're going to switch the 5 to one side and make it, since it crossed the equals, it has to be negative 5 or minus 5, so we're going to subtract it from 10 and leave our x on the left side of the equals. Solve for x there. 10 minus 5, x equals 5. That is correct. We'll go ahead and plug that back in our original problem. X equals 5, and 5 plus 5 equals 10. Yay! Now let's do a subtraction problem. let's go ahead and get your problem copied down. 4 minus x equals 0. Teachers, go ahead and pause the video now and let your students copy this problem down and solve for x. Press play again once they've got it completed. Okay, good. Let's see if you figured out the problem correctly. We're going to switch the 0 and the x. That's all we have to do here. We're going to leave the 4 alone. All our numbers are on one side of the equals. The x is on the other. 4 take away nothing is 4. So x equals 4. 4 minus x equals 0. So 4 minus 4 equals 0. And that is correct. 4 minus 4 equals 0. Good job.